dry assembly of the frame. I don't know if this camera is going to pick it up, but I've got a couple joints with just some hairline not fittingness. Not fittingness, that's what we'll call it. But anyway, figure out how to clamp this thing up. But that's what the frame's going to look like once it's all said and done. Minus the shadow of the phone. Something I just realized when I was assembling this, I wasn't really intentional. Obviously, if the cut's on one side, the cut's going to be on the other side. So I'm going to have this spline on the inside showing as well, above the plexiglass. So that'll be a nice little touch I was pleasantly surprised with. Obviously, cutting all the way through, it just didn't dawn on me that this would be on the inside as well. Dumb moment, I guess, but I'm going to get it glued up and probably let it sit overnight. So I've got everything kind of where it needs to be, and I ain't going to lie, I'm scared. I've never done a glue up like this with all these different parts in it. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm just going to use some Titebond 3. I think I've got some left in here. Just going to use some Titebond 3 and a little acid brush to smear it in the joints. Like I said, I've never done one of these builds before, so don't know really what to expect. Here goes nothing. That's one of the cool things, though, about woodworking. If you've never done something, then it's always a learning experience. You can take something away from every project. And this project has been a little bit more tedious than the projects I'm used to. No problem though. So this is my glue up disaster, I'll call it. All the joints are relatively good. Having never done this before, having no 90-degree corner clamps, I'm working with what I have, and it's my first picture frame. So, well, I should say my first attempt at trying to make a decent looking picture frame. I've thrown some together out of some scrap wood before, but they all suck too. So this is a learning experience for me. A lot of don't do it this way kind of experiences in this. All my joints glued together, alright. I'm not going to say that they're the 100% awesome picture frame joints, but considering what I'm working with, I'm satisfied. All the router detail was done on a plastic skill router on a old makeshift dining table conversion to a router tabletop. So just some horrible squeeze out, and I tried to clean it up a little bit, and I think I made it worse. And like I said, it's a learning experience. So looks like we're gonna go with some dark stain to hide all my mess ups. While it's in clamps, I figured I'd take some scraps and do some staining to see what I like. This one is Minwax Early American. Not sure how that's going to show up on camera. This is my wife's decision. It's her picture frame. So that's what we've been doing a lot of stuff of lately for other projects. Not for us, rather. This is Ipswich Pine. I think I pronounced that right. Ipswich Pine. I like it. It's a lighter color. I think the walnut will be accented a little bit more with this. It's my wife's, like I said. This will match our bedroom suit we have. This is ugly. This is dark walnut is the color. Kind of gives it that old rustic kind of look that somewhat is antique-ish looking. I used some super glue and glued a scrap piece of that walnut in between the two bigger pieces of scrap poplar I'm using. And I did that so I could see my contrast with some stain on it to see if I went with this, or if she chose this really dark one, if it would completely hide these splines or not. If the stain is going to completely hide these splines, then those still serve structural purpose, but won't show any type of detail. However, this, it kind of shows it. It's obviously a different hue. Obviously a different hue depending on how much absorption it has. But I hope she doesn't pick this one. I think this is ugly. Obviously, I think everyone thinks that's ugly. But hopefully it's one of these two.